Welcome to the Beard Me That Beer podcast. I'm David.
I'm Sam.
And welcome to episode number 44.
I'm not even keeping track of the numbers anymore.
I have to.
Okay.
Music. We are talking about music here. About the thing me and Sam kind of do.
But a little more of a deep dive.
Yeah. Deep fake music podcast.
How do you deep fake music? You superimpose yourself.
Pop music is all.
It's just called karaoke.
Auto-tune out of their fucking mind. But first, the beer. From North Park Beer Company, Panoramic, San Diego Pale Ale, 6.5%, and I believe that's the San Diego coast right there.
Is
looking
it?
from Coronado or Shelter Island.
Where?
Shelter Island.
Shelter Island?
By the airport.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what that was called.
I think that's what it's called.
Shelter Island.
Shutter Island.
Cool. I can give that.
Dry hop with Mosaic, Cryo, Simcoe, and Simcoe Cryo. So frozen, maybe? I don't know.
a lot of frozen type styled words in there.
North Park Beer, Loco in San Diego. It was a long, winding road that brought North Park Beer Co. out of the garage and into the spotlight. Kelsey McNair, our head brewer and proprietor, arrived in San Diego 20 years ago to live the California dream and design video games with his friends. However, it wasn't long before his love for cuisine, chemistry, and craft found an outlet in the city's fledgling independent brewing scene. That exciting new world teamed with bold flavor, beard, and inspired talent. And when Kelsey's homebrewing career began in 2004, its path was nothing short of... I'm not going to say that word.
Say it.
No.
Out loud.
Meteoric.
That's it.
No, I know how to say it. I just that's a dumb word.
It's not a dumb word. It's just you don't use it much.
I just don't do that to describe something.
Just go on.
Soon, his Hot Foo IPA had become the single most award-winning homebrew recipe in history, and in the most competitive category, the American IPA.
So it sounds like this Kelsey character is like an entrepreneur.
I went ahead and looked at the games he has credits on.
Oh, did you? We're talking big titles, indie titles? What
EverQuest? I know that's something I know. Yeah.
That's a word I've heard before.
The Runes of Kunark 2000, he was the game master. Landmark in 2016, he did some art. Star Wars Clone Wars Adventures in 2010 as associate art director. Free Realms in 2009 as lead environment artist. EverQuest 2 Echoes of Fader, artist, world builders, and animator. EverQuest 2 Kingdom of the Sky, same thing. EverQuest 2 Desert of Flames, the same thing. EverQuest 2, the same thing. And then EverQuest, the first one, The Scars of Vilius, was an artist.
That's awesome, man.
So that's cool. I like that a lot. And San Diego doesn't get enough credit, but there is a semi-big gaming dev scene.
Well, I mean, yeah, there are studios around.
Sony, Rockstar.
Stuff gets made.
Yeah. So, we're going to try this beer.
Yeah.
Probably the most we've ever said about
I gotta
a brewery.
say, I'm a little disappointed with a name like Panoramic that it's not like a really wide can. Just like
a very
because panoramic pictures, it's like just really long.
Where you open it, that's the width.
You know what it should be? It should be like almost like a pop-up book style, where the label you can peel it off, and then it's like what? Really long landscape
that
picture.
Shot is pretty long when you turn the can around.
But the fact that it wraps around the can, I just you have to rotate.
That's fine. It smells delicious.
Does it?
Yeah. It smells like a really delicious pale ale.
It feels like this has been in the fridge for a minute, so that's nice. It is a good temperature for drinking. What is this? You said
it's a pale ale.
It's a pale ale.
You're going to taste a lot of hops, though, because it's dry hopped. That's the funky, skunky taste to it.
What is that?
Hops, man. It's so refreshing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You said funky and skunky.
That's the first taste you
get. Taste it, but it's not like...
It's not unpleasant. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, I
like it.
It's a balanced skunky.
I like it. I like that taste
smooth skunk.
Yeah.
It's a Pepe Le Pew.
I feel like it's a little... not as carbonated as I like.
There's definitely
I don't want
that.
to say it's flat.
It's not flat. It's just smoother.
Because I taste it, the carbonation a lot. I guess the third sip I taste more of it. Maybe I should shake it before I drink it.
Is that common practice?
Yeah. To chuck the can at the wall.
Is it?
No.
You want to get that bulge on the top of the can before you sip, right?
You want to put it in the freezer for 9 hours?
And then just crack it on the countertop. And you're like, it's like a glow stick.
Use your teeth.
Oh, it's gonna be like just like slam it on a corner, and you're like, cool. Now it's like broken up. Now I can really get into it.
I love pale ales. This also combines my favorite parts, like funky hops.
I'm not usually one for those skunky, just kind of like
weed smelling,
tasting.
Well,
the smell not so much. I don't notice it as much, but the taste, I'm not usually one for that. But this one I don't mind. So
I think this beer would 100% be way better on tap. Like all beers,
probably.
But for sure this beer. I can deal with cans. Cans are like the best way for me.
But this would be nice out of a glass, I think.
Let it breathe.
Just breathe.
All right, we're getting into music. Musica. Beer me that music.
Oh.
Music conversation questions from, of course, PrintDiscuss.com, the greatest site.
Which we are just...
For people who do podcasts who don't know what to do.
Yeah, this is... Man, we are... I think we're just going back to the well. That's what this is.
I mean, this is not... They're all really good. I like it because it's just not those generic, like, so what kind of music do you listen to?
I mean, there is a little bit of that.
I know, but it goes into like, well, how do you feel like music plays in the political landscape, especially with Donald Trump being a dumb fuck? Like that.
I mean, I don't... loosely flipping through this, I don't recall seeing that question.
It's question 6.5, and I will read it. Don't worry. Warm-up task. Take turns naming a genre of music. List as many as you can.
Are we doing this?
I mean, I feel like this would take a long time, because we probably know enough genres, and I think you can just like slap the word modern.
Let's do like
neo.
Let's do a lightning round until we burn out. Gonna do that?
No, not really. How about we list our top 3 genres that we most listen to?
Are we doing more broad genre or just specific? Broad. Okay.
Pop punk.
You stole mine.
You can say it too.
All right. Alternative.
Okay. I'll say trance.
Trance.
Yeah.
Trance. Is there? We'll get into it. That's true. I was gonna say, is there much of that still? I'll say I like R&B.
R&B. Okay, and I'll say this is a very specific genre. Video game soundtrack.
Oh, I was gonna say movie scores.
Perfect.
Good themes. I like
film
good
soundtracks.
Themes. Yeah, it really gets me going when I'm writing stuff.
Did you? And you said pop punk. That was your first one.
I said alternative.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
A little looser.
Yeah, under the umbrella of
like
rock.
Pop punk is like
rock
part of alternative.
95 different things.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you read the first question?
All right, David. How often do you listen to music?
Every day.
Okay. Moving on. Is there like how much are we talking in a day?
Anywhere
is there an average?
2 to 3 hours a day.
2 to 3 hours.
But okay. I preface that with I'm not specifically like listening to the music. You know, sometimes it's background noise, sometimes it's workout.
That's cool. I would be a little upset if you didn't say like at least over a couple hours most days. So
sometimes I don't have time for that though.
That's true, but I make time. I'd say on average, because I always have my headphones in.
You at least have an hour and a half because you drive to work.
No. I have like a solid minimum like 4 hours.
No, I'm talking about just on your drive alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have the San Diego commute.
Like my commute to and from my work. That's like
almost 2 hours.
Least, it depends.
If there's really bad traffic.
I would say we're talking maybe like an hour and a half. Not quite 2 hours, but at least an hour. So, but not always music. Sometimes it's podcasts. and stuff. But I've always got headphones in to, the chagrin of everybody around me. They're like, can you be present, be in the world?
Are you that guy that goes to dinner with headphones on like a dick?
No.
No, I take them off before I get to the table.
Yeah, it's respectful.
I take them off before I sit down at the Sizzler.
The all-you-can-eat buffet.
Le Sizzler.
My endless shrimp with my steak.
Sam jokes, but it's true.
There's no joke there.
Yeah.
There was no sarcasm.
All right, question 2. Go ahead, buddy.
I already read. Or am I just reading these? I'll just read it. I don't care.
What genres of music? Just read the question.
All right, fine. What? Number 2. What genres of music do you like? Which do you dislike?
I like electronic. I'm going more broader. Electronic, the rock. I like classical soundtracks, video games, and movies. Yeah, I would say I don't like the pop stuff, but I do like it when people cover pop stuff.
So it's not that you don't like pop stuff. You just would prefer when other people do it.
I just don't like... Well, no, because you're changing the whole thing. Like, if a pop-punk band covers a pop artist, it's not the same song. It's the same lyrics, same chords, but they do add a style difference to it. Mm-hmm. It's like eating fried chicken and chicken katsu. Same thing, but different.
I was like, but is it, though? It's... Like,
is it fried chicken? Is chicken katsu fried? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Is chicken katsu fried? Yes or no?
Can be.
It is. I mean, so is baked chickens. I'm just saying, it's the same thing, but it's a different style. That's what makes it different.
I was gonna say
that was description a rock solid defense.
The description on paper reads exactly the same, but it is not.
That's what I said. I'm saying that.
Yeah, I'm saying it differently. Just so we hit all points.
You're saying it differently, but trying to argue it.
We're hitting all axes on this grid.
Axes.
What
do you dislike? I hate country music. Hate pop music.
You're just alienating people.
Christian music. That one genre that was like really big, like a couple years ago, where they like had like a banjo. Or like some sort of fiddle, but it was like pop and
that pop folk, kind of.
I had no patience for that.
So like a Mumford and Sons, or like
I had no, like, if you're gonna be folk, be folk. If you're gonna be pop,
folk pop, man.
Like Taylor Swift did it. She was like, I'm gonna be a country star, and then fuck that and make more money. I can respect someone that makes more money and chooses, but just don't. Yeah, but. You can do what you want.
True.
I'm not a huge fan of reggae. Mm-hmm. That being said, it sometimes sounds nice.
It sounds like for you, it's like a mood thing.
Verbs and delay kind of thing. I get it as an effect. Just don't get it all the time.
But you would if you listen to reggae.
But I don't want to. That's about it.
I mean, like...
I mostly listen to pop-punk. Pre-2012.
Big surprise. Yeah, we're definitely locked for the most part, I think, in stuff that we listen to on the norm.
Yeah, and maybe there'll be questions about it, and we can get into it. What about you?
So, I feel like there's a lot of overlap for both of us, because, like this close in age and stuff. We're friends for a long time. But yeah, like I like pop punk. I like more broad rock. I like R&B. I like some occasional soul stuff. I like some good blues. It's gonna be this for 10 minutes.
Next question. What do you don't like? How about that?
All right.
Come on.
This is gonna be.
Don't preface it with anything. Just
it's definitely
say
the one.
What do you
There's
hate?
nothing that I blatantly hate other than just like
Christian music.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind it.
How many Christian albums do you own?
A couple, actually. I don't listen to them, but so it's weird, right? Because like there's I don't know. It seems real. Especially the Christian like theme music, like it's like I wouldn't mind, but it just seems disingenuous, like the way they they write typically for those songs.
I feel like it's like always the same thing.
Like, what comedian? Do you know Mike Birbiglia?
No.
He had a. See, he has an old routine where he's talking to me. He's like, "Oh, I like a good like I'm so disappointed with how like Christian rock stuff goes because it starts and it's usually like a real nice ballad, and then like when it actually hits into the song, he's like, oh, why did you do that? Because it's always like, yeah, I can get this, and then it always is like, oh, God is good.
They'll talk about, it's like Eric Cartman in South Park did the perfect thing. You just take normal songs and put Jesus and God, and it's like you can be like, oh, in a rock song, like a pop rock song, it's like a problem with like your girlfriend, except you just, instead of being a girlfriend in Christian music, it's God, like, see, I lost faith in God or something
like that. I think it's just because I don't think there's enough complexity to the Christian rock stuff, because I like
I said, the same
I
thing.
like it where it's like interpretive, like you can take it as whatever you want. That's why
also, listeners, feel free to send us Christian music and prove us wrong.
Well, no, I'm not going to say like blanketing all that together, like, because I like back in the day and even now, like I would listen to a lot of Under Oath, Christian rock, technically, yeah, but
metal.
like,
it's
but
different.
it's like you can interpret it.
I mean, it wasn't
as different stuff.
Or someone else, or
like the Almost, or like
we can't talk about that band,
huh?
As I dying.
Oh, well, there's
that guy
stuff
turned
around
out to
that
be
guy.
super Christian.
I mean, there's stuff. Well,
fuck that guy.
But like, okay, but I guess a genre I really wouldn't typically listen to would probably be country, just because it's like also kind of the same kind of thing. It's just like there's
driving in my pickup truck. She
just
left me.
Not so much even like female singers, but the male singers get on my nerves because they sound basically the same to me. But like, take out their vocals and the music sounds fine. It just sounds like blues or rock or outside the twanginess.
It sounds like country.
But I could take the music on its own. But it's just when they go, I don't know. That's probably going to be like a lot of people find that real offensive. But
that's fine. Find it offensive.
Like. But if the artist is like real genuine. And like they're doing, I hate when it's like multiple people get their hands into a basket.
I mean,
and it's like a lot of that's if you're mainstream, that's typically what it is.
That's I always say like, selling out. It's the goal. Like you want a lot. You want a lot of money. You want money. You want to take care of your family. You want to take care of your future.
I feel that is a thing you can do, and I just feel like I have less respect for you.
Also, like all these mainstream artists are basically 24/7 being fucking watched and stalked, and it's their life never.
That's a choice.
Real life. I know that's what I'm saying. It's a choice, but like I think you should be paid to be annoyed 24/7.
Like if you're gonna get that kind of attention,
not being able to have like your own phone and a real Instagram account, because if you post one thing, you get 5 million likes. Like they're missing on normal things. And I think, being compensated, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, just because that's my opinion of what
also,
they do.
If, people just don't have to buy their stuff.
That's true.
So country and
would probably be
Christian,
on the low end for me.
And what else? I think I got a third one.
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty open with, like, my musical... I have broad taste, so as long as it's catchy, I'm like, it's fine.
Okay, so that's a lot of music, though.
Yeah.
Like the neo-classical, if I were modern stuff you wouldn't really like. Because it's not catchy.
Like what are you talking about?
No, I'll tell you later. I can't play anything legally.
Sure you can.
3.
3.
Can you play a musical instrument, or did you play one as a child? Yes and yes. Next.
Come on, David. Explain.
Come
on, this is our time.
There might be the next question. Which ones? No, I'm just saying. I played clarinet, saxophone. I think I can play any reed instrument still. I think I can I can still do it.
So when were we doing this, David? What are we talking?
7 years old, 3rd grade. I started.
Really?
Yes.
What did you start on? Really?
Yeah. I started before that recorder class. That's how good I was. Oh. And I fucking owned that recorder class.
Interesting. Were you recording in the recorder class?
Remember that stupid recorder class?
No, I don't. We didn't have that.
Really?
No.
Oh, we did.
spoiled.
It's fucking 25 plastic recorders, and it's
if
just
I
a
had-
guy going to your class once a week
I was
for
like-
like 2 weeks.
I think our music class in elementary school just like,
We had after school music class, so
Oh,
you had
we
to pay
didn't.
for like, I think it was like $100 a month or something like that.
or we may have, but I just didn't do it.
I mean, you weren't into it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, had I been exposed,
Maybe.
yeah, I probably
We're
I would probably
exposed to
be
the
much
things
better
at the,
now.
at the right time. Yeah. That's about it.
A lot of woodwind stuff.
Yeah.
Can you play sax?
I feel like if I tried hard enough, I can learn basic piano. I understand the piano. Mm-hmm. I can play the chords if I learn them, but I just don't have the patience to learn both hands,
Yeah.
treble and bass, and yeah.
I think I lack the coordination for that. I mean, I also have a general understanding,
I'm
and
always-
I know that it would help a lot to know how to do that.
I'm always told that as a clarinet player, I should know how to do it, but I don't. I don't. I can't do a running line and then a lead. My hands don't do it. But I can just chords.
Chords are nice. Simple enough.
Enough to get it.
Yeah. So yeah, I also play musical instruments. I was, unlike David, I started as a brass player, so I was like trumpets, some French horns, some flugel. No bugles. Fugal. Kind of can play some trombone. But it's like, if you know how to play a reed instrument or a brass instrument, you
you
could
can figure
fake
it
your
out,
way
yeah.
through it. And then I know I'm learning some guitar. It's pretty basic, embarrassing. Like, I don't want to play it in front of people, but I picked up ook in high school. And I like that a lot. What are you doing?
It's really hot right here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, back up, man.
That's-
But no, I think it's safe to say I play a handful of things. All okay. Nothing. I don't excel.
yeah.
But passable.
We wouldn't be here if either of us excelled.
We're very talented.
Yeah. We're so talented. Mostly I play guitar now. Mm-hmm. And I like, yeah.
I don't know if that comes up later, but
and then
we'll bring it up.
Whatever. I forget. A bunch of my teachers always said, oh, if you play laptop, like that's a thing. Well, like producing.
Yeah.
Like I never liked the word producing because it never felt like a producer, like how you thought a producer was versus
What did you
like a
think a producer
like-
was?
the one who was in like the real in charge.
Like the creator?
No, like money wise and like, hey, I'm here to make this product better.
See, that's kind of how I always pictured it. Like, never really having a clear understanding of what that was. I always thought it was just like the person that had the resources to get something off the ground.
Flexible position. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's our music, here's our demo, and you'll be like, they don't have to learn all the music, they don't have to learn every single chord, but they know like, oh, this harmonic should be here, this should be here. This is how the snare should sound. This is how the vocal should. Yeah.
They're good at offering specific notes.
Yeah. But again, they could be really into it and be like, no, I need to learn all the music for your album and get it really deep into it.
That would certainly be helpful.
Yeah.
To have those skill sets.
But yeah, laptop's an instrument. I do agree with that though. Like MIDI keyboard or just typing it into Logic or Pro Tools or whatever the other one that kids use now. I'm trying to remember.
Remember?
We use it at my work. I don't use it, but that's what the school uses. Which I still don't understand.
I was like, so there is I feel like there's an argument to be made about that, because I know that like old school musicians might have some opinions about like the
it's like the
hitting
same.
buttons.
It's like the same argument. It's like, well, a keyboard isn't as nice as a piano. Yes,
That's true.
But you can do so much more with a keyboard, and I can pick it up and go home. Why don't you go hire your four
that's
guys
true.
to move your fucking grand piano?
I was
And I
gonna
know
say-
this because I move pianos a lot.
I was gonna say, I was like, I agree with you, because that to me is just the musical hipster argument. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
and you're belittling people's skills based
No.
on you being older.
You're just
that's all that you are arguing.
You're just putting people in a box.
Yeah.
You're putting down creativity.
No, you're putting yourself in a box.
Well, you are.
You're arrogant prick.
You're putting people in a box, yourself included.
So, here on Beer Made Beer, you can play any instrument. And there's like 9 instruments in this room alone.
Yep.
I got some weird ones too.
I think I have my melodica in the car.
I have like a little thing that I got as a gift, and you play it with a stylus. Like it's a magnetic stylus, and you can bend the pitch, and it's super
like
little.
What is that called? It's a theremin.
Not a theremin. No, I wish I had one of those.
Those are so cool. I don't understand how to play them.
Horror music. It's magnetic waves.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next one.
Yeah, next one.
Yeah, who's reading? You reading? I'm reading. Who's coming?
I read the third one so far.
All right. Can you name a hit song from the past year? Do you like the song, or are you sick of hearing it?
So, are we like what the hit song on the radio?
It was just like, okay, so what is it? It is October now. Can you think of anything that's
Billboard
been played frequently?
Top. I'm gonna just go to Billboard.
I
don't even know any fucking song. The last pop song I heard, and I thought it was catchy, and I just got sick. I only know the one part. I haven't asked Sam, what's that one song?
Sing it.
From Panic at the Disco. That's always on the radio. Yeah,
that was not even new.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. That's the last one.
The boy.
Oh yeah. Sit. Go to your bed. Bed.
But yeah, that's not even new, man. That's like it's been like at least a couple years at this point.
Yeah. All right. This is top 100.
Top 100 as of
this week on the chart.
What's the date? The 17th of October.
Okay, I lied. The last one I heard, and because someone posted on Instagram, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" WAP.
Oh,
that's the last one. It's so catchy though, but I don't know what they're saying. But
do you know what WAP stands for?
Yeah, I know. I had to look it up. When I said it, and I was like, "Oh, it's got to be something sexual." I was like, "Oh, it must be this," but I had to look it up.
I can't take that serious.
All right, Savage Love by Josh685 and Jason Derulo and BTS.
How's that go?
I don't know. Oh. Dynamite by BTS.
I don't.
WAP by Cardi B.
What a
24K,
Korean pop in the top.
Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake. Blinding Lights, The Weeknd. Rockstar, DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch. I Hope by Gabby Barrett. Runnin' by 21 Savage and Metro Boomin.
I don't know any
Mr.
of this.
Right Now by 21 Savage and Mr. Booming. Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. Lemonade, Internet Money and Gunna. Before You Go, Louis Capaldi. Holy, Justin Bieber. For the Night, Pop Smoke.
I heard that Bieber song. I didn't mind that one.
Poppin' by Jack Harrell. Go Crazy by Chris Brown. Wonder by Shawn Mendes. Glock in My Lap by 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. One of the Girls by Lee Brice. That's the top 20. I don't know any of those songs except for WAP.
I've passingly heard maybe like 2 or 3 of those, but like
WAP is...
I don't care for
Consensus
that.
Is the same song that we've heard that is new.
I guess.
That's sad.
Even then, I haven't heard the whole thing, and I just like I heard the chorus and I was like, I don't care for this.
Yeah. I do like some of the camera movements in it though, or the scenery.
Oh, in the video?
Yeah,
I haven't seen the video.
I think in one part the room's moving, but they're not. So, can you name a hit song? WAP from the past year. Do you like the song? No. Are you sick of hearing it? Yes.
I've only heard it once, or I've heard it maybe once, not all the way through, but I think I've heard a cover or two, and I like the cover more. It does not color my opinion of the song though. So
maybe a nice piano ballad version of it would be kind of cool.
But because even then it's just
but like confusing because you'd be like, oh, this is so nice, and then you start singing, but you don't really know. Like Sam sent me the Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins by a country singer.
Oh, it was a country cover.
Yeah, a country cover.
Which is weird.
Yeah. But it
worked.
I mean,
it helped that we know that song.
You could literally probably cover in any genre and it would probably make sense.
But
yeah,
I would say, I don't know, like, because this is like, we have to be like up on the mainstream stuff, and neither of us are really like I think I am more so than you are, but like I don't think either of us are really mainstream,
Like I said
current
before,
pop listeners.
The last album I have purchased was the Day to Remember Common Courtesy.
And it's been years.
I was at the Best Buy before it opened to buy it.
For Common Courtesy? Really?
Yeah. It was the one where we didn't know they were suing.
It was like right after that whole record,
they
that
literally
label
had
thing
it
they
done.
had.
They had it sent to all the stores, but they were like waiting that Friday, like
To see if they could
to
actually...
see if they could do it and get out of the contract with whatever Victory Records.
But yeah, safe to say...
Probably the worst question to ask us.
If you'd asked this maybe like 2009... Maybe we'd be better off, but like we're not really like radio listener types.
But that we answered it.
Yeah,
So
I guess technically.
is it my turn? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yes. What is your favorite musician? Who is your favorite musician, band, or group? How important are they to you?
Are we talking about like currents or like all time?
I mean, who is your favorite?
Favorite?
Yeah. I think it should be at least top 3. Whoever you feel like talking about, buddy.
So like a lot of things, favorites I have trouble narrowing down to like any specific one, but like I definitely have like a rotation. So I guess who would I feel comfortable mentioning?
Celine Dion. Botticelli.
Because I feel like I have a bad habit of like retreading
Eiffel 65.
I'll say All Time Low.
That's a good one.
Just because I've been a fan since like 2006, and they've gone through changes over the years. I would be surprised if they didn't, because it's been and they started young, so like they're still like going strong, but I would be surprised if
one of the few of our
nostalgia bands
that is still the same.
This the lineup hasn't changed since,
and even like their crew,
for the most part,
their tour manager is still that same guy who sings backing vocals.
Yeah, their circle's like pretty much locked.
Yeah,
but they seem pretty genuine to me, and I really like their music, and like they've had some hits or misses. Hits and misses.
I agree.
But they've been pretty consistent, and I'm
they have
I like
hits
that
and misses,
about them.
but I think at the core they always kind of sound the same.
Generally, they don't sound exactly the same.
They'll be like, let's try this way. Oh, let's try this. But it's still like, to me, still pop punk.
Right.
I think they've someone else.
They've definitely shifted more pop in recent years.
I think that's
but
just
it's
technology.
still, yeah, and like as an artist, like your taste can like morph over time, and that leaks into your sound. So.
I think it also is who's producing and how much.
Definitely,
who the record label, how it works, how their contract works, and choosing the producer.
What other ears you got on the thing, and what kind of input they have.
Yeah, because we had that great like from 2008 to 2010, even 7 to 10, where it was just like monster fucking CDs and just great music, really great producers from other like bands that it was great.
Was there more on that question?
How important are they to you?
They're pretty important. I would say, like, being a musician myself, that's like a big influence on the way I write. I mean, just I don't know. I like lyrically, especially how like Alex writes his stuff. It's a lot of like metaphors and which is pretty common for music, but like it's like he paints a nice picture about the stuff he sings about, and I'm a big fan of that.
Sometimes it's almost too specific, but sometimes it's like,
what
are you writing about?
and they have like a broad sweep, right? So like they can write kind of like, face down after a party and it's the next morning kind of song, or it could be like, I'm really, really specific, about a certain person kind of thing.
Like face down party song could be also.
It could be.
It's not about a party at all.
There are layers. Yeah. So I enjoy
like
that about them. We're doing this.
Or parfait.
Yeah. Like on the recent record, they had a cool I don't know. They closed it out, and I think a lot of people aren't real big on that track, but they have like a song that kind of like hit a lot of stuff for me because it kind of reminded me about like our past experience because it was like the like humble beginnings kind of song where it's like, oh yeah, we were just like a couple guys who just started in a basement and like look at how far we come kind of thing, which was nice.
That is the key to a great band success. Yeah. A basement.
Yeah, that song is called Basement Noise.
I swear to God,
I like
anyone
song.
with a basement, because on the West Coast, if you're in a band and if people know on the West Coast, Southern California, housing's very close to each other.
Yeah.
And if you're too loud, your asshole, possibly Republican neighbors will call the police.
Possibly. They could just be non-affiliated asshole.
I said possibly. I didn't say it was. I'm just saying possibly. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite musician, band, or group? How important are they to you? I feel like Sam said his number one, honestly.
It's definitely, I would say maybe like top 3.
I say number 1.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would say they definitely have the staying power for a number 1 for me. What about you, buddy?
It's very hard for me to choose. Oscar. Sorry, I have my dog here. How about you just sit?
He's very curious. He's just like wandering and sniffing and just like Dad, hold me.
He's a good boy.
Oscar, what's your favorite? What's Dad play?
When Dad shuts up. When Dad gets the cookie bag out.
I enjoy the silence. Yeah.
I like that cookie bag shaking, or a can of tuna.
It's good.
I'll go. It can go a couple ways. I'll go Fall Out Boy, even though I really want to say Day to Remember sometimes, but
either would work for you. I think.
And they're very different too.
Yeah, they've had a more drastic change, I think, than
with the Day to Remember, it's like one of those bands that started. No, I'm saying Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy.
You're like, do I want to say that?
No, I'm gonna go Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy from Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
Chi-Town. They're just like, I guess, a lot like All Time Low. They were just a couple of kids in the basement playing music. Mm-hmm. But they all came from kind of different scenes when they started. Because there's some like Pete Wentz was in a super hardcore heavy metal band.
Wasn't like Andy too?
Andy, I don't know if Andy was a drummer yet, but I think Joe was the guitarist with, and I think Patrick had like sub drummed. The band was called Arma Angelus, and it's just super heavy. And if anyone ever like argues that Pete can't scream, just listen to this, and
he can do some stuff. Yeah, for sure.
But I think we've talked about this before. I didn't really listen to Take This to the Grave first. I listened to From Under the Cork Tree first. That was like one of my second or third album I purchased. Mm-hmm. And then I listened to Take This to the Grave a couple of years later. But they were definitely that emo at the time where we were. I feel like our kind of
it came at just the right time.
Because our parents before us were taught not to be so into their feelings, I think. The 70s, 80s, and 90s were kind of that, like, you kind of did your thing. If you had a problem, you really didn't say much.
I think it was just one of those generational things. That's
what I'm saying. I think our gap was just like, hey, it's okay to feel these things, and it's okay to talk about them. Well, and I think that's what Fall Out Boy, even All Time Low, there's some heavy things going on in these songs about every teenager goes through. I
mean, almost at points to the point of being like cliche.
Now you can say it's cliche.
Definitely now with perspective.
Listening to on your CD, but you felt like they were singing about your life.
Very relatable.
Yeah.
Especially that age.
Yeah. And with Fall Out Boy, they every album was not the same. There's not one album that is the same at all. And I like the diversity, but it's always sounds like a Fall Out Boy song. Even
they're all close enough together where it's not so separated.
Yeah, Patrick's voice, and he has a killer voice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll say Fall Out Boy. They're important because it felt like very relatable. They were singing about my life, my poor teenage life, my emo life.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's good. That doesn't surprise me. That's a good pick.
It is good music.
Yeah.
Still good music.
Yep.
All right, go ahead with number 6, buddy.
So, number six. Do you enjoy live music? Have you been to any concerts? Talk about the most memorable concert that you have been to.
I enjoy live music, but I find it hard to enjoy going to live shows.
I think this has to do with what you do.
Yeah.
For a living, for sure.
My work is live shows. So I don't want to go to do something like work after I'm done working. But also, I just, it's too loud now.
We're just old.
I have tinnitus, so.
Tinnitus?
I have ringing in my ears, so.
Do you really?
Yeah, all the time.
Is it worse in one ear?
No, it's both.
I've heard it's usually worse in one ear.
It's supposed to be, you get it in one ear, but I have it in both ears, so it's in the center of my brain. I hear it inside my head. And right now, talking about it, I just remember and it gets louder. But I'm usually like, I've gotten so used to it where it's like, doesn't really bother my day to day. But I've lost a lot of hearing going to these loud live shows.
Well, I mean, you're constantly in areas of loud volume.
Loudly, yeah. So now I'm like more careful about it, where earplugs or just don't even go at all. But I also just like turning. The problem with San Diego is all the underage shows were either two places: Soma, which is a dump, or Epicenter, which is a dump,
which is no longer around.
Yeah. So it was so hard to go to fun shows, and now as an adult, it's always like people are just fucking drunk and assholes and starting shit.
I feel like the worst parts about going because I like
the worst parts of going to live shows
is the
are
people,
the audiences,
not the
band.
groups you go see, unless they're just not good at playing live.
and then you find out,
which is unfortunate.
It's like you met your hero and he's an asshole too.
Yeah, well, there's
that too. But I have gone to live shows where I just like I'm gonna go all the way in the back. And just, it sounds fine from back here. I'm glad I enjoyed it. But yeah, live shows. I like the live show. It's just it's too loud for me now. I like to protect my hearing. I mean, in 10 years, I might like be partially deaf. Like, so I gotta.
If you're not already,
I choose not to listen anymore because it doesn't. There's no importance to what people say now.
That's good. That's good, David. I enjoy that. Enjoy that you said that.
Have you talk about the most memorable concert you've ever been to? It had to be a shit. That's hard.
Was it one of your own?
No. No way.
That would have been chef's kiss. So good if you said that.
Either it's like 2. Warped Tour. I forget the year, but I saw Chunk No Captain Chunk when they were barely starting out. They were on like a super small stage and like right by the like a little food truck, so it was just like a mosh pit as big as possible. But I saw the Used.
Oh, really? That's cool.
That was great. I saw Rise Against. I saw Rise Against and the Used. Rise Against, like someone got pinned against the fence, and then the singer was like, "Oh, yo, stop!" And they get her out, and they're like, "Thank you so much for stopping, guys." And they start like mid where they stop, and the drummer counts off, and they're like, "Go into it." Yellow Card was there too. It was just
That's
one
a good
of
bill.
the.
That sounds like a really good bill.
Yeah, the best part, and it was so stupid. Bert from the Used, he's like, next up, Skrillex. Oh, really? And it's just like, you know that's not going to happen. What? It was on the main stage, and it was when they had like hilarious. One show, 2 main stages. They did one band, one act, one band, one act. Actually, I would just encompass any Warped Tour I've ever been to because I saw All Time Low there, Yellow Card. Those are like really good bands.
See, I envy
Motion
you.
City soundtrack. I saw a lot of good. And the cool thing about Warped Tour, it's like you get so many, but then the sets are like half an hour.
They're shorter.
But I also like that because then they don't do any of their gimmicks. They don't like talk. They just start. They try to play four songs. Yeah,
they just get right into it, and they usually play the big ones, right?
We the Kings. I saw a lot of good bands. But I also really liked when Silverstein came to the House of Blues, and I think it was their 15-year anniversary of discovering the waterfront. Ooh. So they played the whole album.
That's pretty cool.
And I swear, like you could hear the band, but everyone was just singing every song. And I went with Joey.
Oh, did you? Oh, and he's a huge Silverstein fan.
And he's like, "Hey, dude, do you want to come to this? I bought like an extra ticket. My sister's coming." I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." I hate the House of Blues though, but it's just a terrible design of a building to have a show.
But it's just because it's just one of those venues around.
And also, it's in downtown, a terrible place to have a venue.
Yeah. That bugs me. But what are you going to do?
They had Beartooth, and that's like a super popular. Yeah, they were opening a Bear.
So
and then there's an asshole punching someone while Beartooth was like playing, and then Beartooth stopped the song, and the singer's like, "That guy right there in the yellow jacket, security, get him out of here. He's punching people."
That's good. I mean, I like I like that about bands when they stick up for their fans
when they're like
doing that stuff.
Super civil and not assholes about
reasonable.
it. Yeah,
that's a low bar, but that's nice to see.
Yeah, those had to be watching. I didn't remember it. Some was really cool too, but I wasn't a huge fan of other people playing. But that Discovering the Waterfront by Silverstein is one of my favorite albums, and Warped Tour. I mean, anyone who's ever gone to Warped Tour will agree that any Warped Tour is amazing. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to the last one. I just didn't like the lineup at all. And it was at Qualcomm, which I fucking hate.
It's too bad, man.
But I know they're done, but I don't think they're done.
I think it's just a break. Like a hiatus.
Yeah.
Before they reorganize.
I think the way they were running the business wasn't the smartest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. But I think they can definitely learn from that and do it again.
Well, I think we both have very different experiences because I enjoy live music, but I'm pretty confident in saying that David has been to several more live shows than I have because, like, especially when we were younger, I think you had...
I think I just was able to sneak out of the house a little bit more.
Well, I mean, like, maybe...
And as soon as I turned 18... Well, because I think you were just allowed to do more before you were turned 18. Mm-hmm. I think at 18 I was like, I'm going to do whatever I want because I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things.
Well, it was more like so, like, I feel real sad saying this, but like a lot of those bands that we would listen to growing up, like I don't think I've seen maybe like a couple of them. I mean, maybe once.
I say Fall Out Boy is my favorite band, but I've never seen them live.
Like All Time Low, you were saying that's my favorite band? If they are, I've never seen them. I've never seen them live, so
they're fun.
I haven't seen. So a lot of those groups I haven't seen. So like I've only been to a handful of concerts. I think my first live show was like at my church. And it was like, and the band, I hadn't heard of the band before, but the band was pretty good. They were called, I remember them too. It was called This Holiday Life. And they're like an alt rock kind of group, but like they were Holiday Life. I mean, I don't know if you could find any of that stuff, but it was kind of cool. It was a little bit like kind of Switchfoot-ish kind of sounding. But like, I think like the biggest show I went to was like a Nickelback show with, which I thought would be nothing, but turns out Nickelback does a pretty good live show. And
turns out having money
and they had
helps.
They had a couple good surprising groups on the bill. Like Papa Roach was there.
Oh, that's cool.
And they killed it.
And they're coming back. Last year, I think they like redid that song.
Which one? One of the big ones.
They redid it, I think. I think they redid it.
To Be Loved.
Yeah, To Be Loved.
That's a good song. I like that one.
Redid it.
And like they were on there, and I think Hinder was on it.
Wow.
Which it's like that bill makes so much sense because I'm like, oh my god, this was this genre all together right here. It's just that just hard grunge kind of
popular rock. I'm not saying pop rock.
It's not pop rock.
Popular.
It was just mainstream rock. That was like all of those groups were just there. and they killed it for as much shit as they would get on the side. I was like, that's really funny.
I think Henry Rollins said this once, like, stop being a drama queen.
Just enjoy the music, man.
No, to the musicians, they're like, no one cares about who you are. Like, the crew doesn't care about who you are. Pay your respects to them because they're putting on your show while and he's like, they should make what you make and you should make what they make. Because some of these, like, these big arena shows are not, like, crew rolls in, they work 16 hours straight, band comes in, does a sound check for 30 minutes, leaves. I'm not saying all bands are assholes, but, like, the crew does a lot of work. And
well, definitely. It's because it's a production, like a stage production. So there's a lot of stuff on the side that, your average, crowd goer would not notice or be aware of.
All those amazing things, LED walls, fireworks.
I was going to say, like, that Nickelback show, there was pyrotechnics. That was crazy. Like, there was, like, flames spouting out right next to, like, their amps and shit. And I was like,
trust me, that takes so much work because the fire marshal going to be like, no, gone.
They have to sign off on all that stuff. That's crazy.
As a person who does it, like, we have to get some serious sign-offs on fire or anything like that, and it's always so hard to do.
Yeah. But being a fan of live music, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't see as much until I got older.
This pandemic may sprout some, like, bands to come back out.
They might.
I mean, look at MCR. Sold show out in 10 seconds. Well, I mean,
they had that planned before, but...
And then they couldn't even do it.
Yeah, because it was like, it just lined up.
I really wanted to go to the Fall Out Boy show that was supposed to happen in July, but they canceled because of the pandemic, but they're supposed to have it in San Diego at Petco. I just do not agree with paying $200, $300 tickets.
It definitely...
For, like, normal seats. I just don't get that.
I feel like they're just gouging you.
Growing up, I'd like $10, $20, $10, 20, 15, 20.
That definitely puts me off on live shows.
Up and up, and especially with where they are. You're going to downtown. You need to take a fucking $30 Uber.
And if you're driving yourself, you gotta pay for parking, most likely.
You can't drink.
Yeah,
like you can't you gotta eat because you're gonna be there early to fucking get in line.
There's a lot of extra stuff involved, but. Yeah.
And then people are like, well, that's just, it's worth it to see the show. And then sometimes it's not, because then I have some asshole puking, starting to fight, security being asshole. Like, it isn't. It's not.
Right.
My mental health. It's not worth it.
It's too much.
All right. Next one, 7. This is for you, buddy.
Are you going to read it, or do you want me to read it?
Did I read the last one?
I can't remember. Oh, I think you did read the last one. All right. Number 7. Do you see buskers in your city? How do you feel about what street performers do? Well, what's a busker, David?
Someone who plays on the street for money.
Street performer. Well, not necessarily. I'll just say someone who plays in the street
and happens to have their case open or a head on the ground.
They could
to give them.
It's definitely an option.
I've busked. I busked.
Have you?
Busked. Yeah.
When did you busk?
When we.
This isn't recent.
Me, Chris, and Keveo before one of our shows in front of the Coles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Just once.
How long did you play? Like us
half an hour, 45 minutes.
That's a long time.
It was the middle of the night, too. It was like 8 o'clock at night. And we made a couple bucks.
What was your haul? I was going to say, did you make much?
I don't remember. This was years ago. I don't remember much. Some lady, I think, gave us a lot.
Really?
Like $10.
That's... One lady gave you $10. That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
It was in front of the Kohl's. Rich people shop at Kohl's.
So buskers.
If you go to Sam Onso IG, you will find a lot of videos. There are videos of Sam busking.
So I do busk on occasion. I haven't done it recently, especially. I mean, like, even pre-pandemic, like it had been a little while since I'd done it, but I do occasionally do it. It is fun. It is a nice way, especially if you're like a musician, to just practice in front of people, and you don't have to pay or anything. You just show up and do your thing.
OGOF/Patreon.
It's crowdfunding. It's literal crowdfunding. But and like me, I get anxious, so that is a nice way to work through some stuff and just
You know, there's anxiety
nut
pills
up.
for that too,
I
right?
don't do that. I'm all natural.
It's okay, Sam. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. But well, Southern California, there's definitely a busker scene here.
If there's a security guard, though,
it's
do it.
It's a weird situation because there's a lot of like, depending where you go, you have to like fill out permits or like apply for stuff.
Anywhere in Southern California, and if you are making money, it doesn't matter if people are donating. You are, in a sense, offering
panhandling
a service. Yeah, or and not really like loitering or anything.
Not technically,
because you're not like you're not asking.
Some people do.
Yeah,
which there's like,
but if you have
that's
your guitar
questionable.
case with like, cheap free demos and so on, then it, no one's gonna really bother you. But if you're like at the mall doing it, you're gonna get kicked out
unless you fill out an application.
But most malls
depending.
now have like, hey, we'll pay someone to come and do it. I know the mall up here has like a setup, like a stage.
But you also have to sign up for that.
You also have to sign up. But I wouldn't mind doing that for fun. But now, pandemic-wise, obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, but so I would say there's
downtown a lot. Assuming the beach boardwalk scene.
Beach is good real estate for buskers, but it's it's a bit touchy when you do it because like you never know how people are going to react.
Some people don't like it. Some people do like it.
Yeah, you might get asked to leave politely or non. Or you can get a fine depending where you're doing
just
it.
Just fucking wait for the cops.
Yeah.
But doing it on someone else's property obviously is like a no. But a public property, I wouldn't mind. I don't think that should be.
Yeah. That being said, if you are trying to make money that way, if you're depending on your skills, you can make some money. I think I think my best haul, I think I played for like an hour one time, kind of by the beach, and I've made like $120.
Nice.
Which was pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff I played I hadn't practiced
and then
before.
Sam went to McDonald's and spent it all.
I did go to McDonald's. I did not spend all of it. I definitely threw some of that in the bank.
I definitely got 40-piece chicken.
If that's a fun thing to do for sure. I would definitely speak that up.
Yeah, I don't mind it, and as long as you're not like agitating people, and you're not being a dick about like money.
Yeah, if you're just being like mindful
and let people donate if they want.
Yeah.
But that being said, people don't really carry cash anymore.
Yeah, but then again, like people like I definitely have had people like, they're like, do you like play shows and stuff? Like I got a gig out of doing that one time. Like some guy was like, hey man, I got a party and
if you have like a QR code on a piece of paper to your website, and they can buy your music right there.
Yeah, I've definitely like.
I have a buddy, James Boton, who is a percussionist.
Like the Rice?
No. But he's streaming now on Twitch, but he streams the real fast Legend of Zelda Link to the Past races.
Speed runs.
But he has like a donation button, but it says, hey, wait, don't donate. And he's like, links it to his like website where he's like, oh, if you want me to give you music lessons, you can donate to that. If you want to buy my CD.
So he's got like specific fields.
Well, it's like, I think it's better. It's like, instead of donating just a general donate, hey, how about you donate and get something
back? Yeah,
like you're buying a CD, but for whatever you want to donate.
It's like money for goods and services.
Capitalism. All right, we got 2 more questions, number 8 and number 9.
Yeah.
Number 8, I think you got to read it.
Why do I gotta read it? Can you sing well? How often do you sing? David, you sing.
I can sing in about a 150-cent range.
Have a narrow range. No, you can sing.
I can sing because I can hear stuff, but I don't have a range. I probably could sing really well. Very well.
I was like, I think if we were to like actually test you.
If there was a triple drop C tuning for guitars, I think I do very well.
Well, David can scream for sure.
That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
But you did.
It was fun. I was young. But I think my smoking career killed that.
Did it really?
I mean, if I practiced,
you've had some time away. Like
Sam
maybe
is a singer, songwriter. So obviously he can sing, and he's not trying to answer the question.
I'm not trying to answer the question. I have a question though, because I was leafing through this earlier. So, all right, little backstory. I don't know how long we're gonna keep this running,
Go
but
ahead.
so obviously David and I have a history musically. We're friends. We've played in bands and musical projects together. I'm kind of curious, when we first started playing together, how did you like? You just like Dave was like, "Oh, hey, we're playing stuff. Do you want to sing for us?"
I remember how it happened.
Tell me, because I'm like, how did you even know I could sing? Because like I was like, I didn't really do that.
Sam didn't sing and didn't do it as a thing. Mm-hmm. He played trumpet, and he was my really good friend. Mm-hmm. And anytime we'd play karaoke, he could sing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, well, you had a fucking good karaoke rig too. And so I just like, hey, why don't you just sing? Obviously, like, being friends, that's always more comfortable asking your friend. Like, and your friends, like, if they say no, it's not the end of the world. If they say yes, cool. Now we're doing something and hanging out. But yeah, it was the karaoke.
Oh, okay, I was curious because I was like, I wasn't, especially around that time, I was not one to sing.
So yeah, me and Sam started a couple bands, and
you want to
right
run through
after
them?
high school, I learned like I was like, I want to learn how to play guitar. And so I just learned little tabs, and Chris let me practice on one of his guitars for a little bit. Then I got some guitars for Christmas, and then now I have a setup.
Now it's just a habit of just collecting.
You can't see it, but there's like a couple over there, and I gave Sam one.
You did?
That he should throw away and just use the case.
It's hanging on my wall, man. I haven't touched it. It's hanging on my wall.
It's fucking garbage. You should clean it.
Clean it? Clean it.
But the case is the money maker.
I do like that case.
The case is worth more than the guitar. I 100% can tell you that right now. But yeah, I learned guitar, and I was like, I wanted to listen to Fall Out Boy, All Time Low. Didn't remember I wanted to start a band, do bands, and
we did.
We did that. We did shows, a couple house shows at Sam's house. I think those were the funnest.
Those were fun. Fun
and then
memories of that.
We had people that had other things, so AJ brought lighting kits, and so we had a really fun time. But we also played House of Blues a couple times. And then what was that? Epicenter. Fuck that place.
I don't know, man. I didn't mind it.
For the space, it could just be so much better.
It could have been. It definitely could have been better.
I'm not saying
but it was
brand
something.
new gear. No, I'm just saying, empty it out, redesign it. Take the time to do that.
But I mean, just the fact that there was a space available, like
for all ages,
forever appreciative.
So yeah, we started a couple bands, and they were fun. I still have a stack of As We Were CDs.
Oh, so groups. First one we were in was Lies Above Love.
Well,
do you remember
first
how we got
it was
that?
just me and Sam,
just playing acoustic.
Yeah, me and Sam
doing like Facebook.
And this was before he was
YouTube covers.
Ook player.
No, it was like right around when I picked it up. So I wasn't comfortable enough to play while I sang or anything because I hadn't figured that out.
Yeah, but, and I think I told him it's like just learn
chords,
the takeover. The breakover.
Which is a difficult song.
No, but like that's how I learned how to sing and play. And I was like, oh, I can do this.
Just play a difficult thing and get that down. Then everything else is easy.
I mean, it does help that his singing goes with it, but it is very difficult to play picked and sing.
That is definitely a skill that you have to practice. So this is how it rings. Singing and playing at the same time.
Singing, playing guitar and singing, including bass. Playing drums and singing.
I don't understand those people. Those people are insane.
And then if you go 500 million miles up into space, is playing piano and singing.
Just like it's difficult enough just to know how to play rhythm stuff on a guitar and sing, but like the fact that it's like any kind of lead kind of thing.
Doing this and this is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Doing this.
That and your
then
legs.
Your feet.
That's insane
that
to me.
It's so hard.
But
then piano is like, oh, I'm gonna do bass line and do like my treble, and I'm gonna sing. You're doing 3 parts.
Freaking ridiculous.
And your feet are doing shit.
So I'm like, you may not be. I've always thought of like, if you may not be like the greatest singer, but if you can have some kind of singing ability while you're doing any of that stuff, I'm like.
Instantly
I'm immediately
impressed.
Yeah, that is a talent.
So yeah, we had Lies Above Love, As We Were, and then we just Sam has
do stuff on the side or whatever. So Yeah,
That was fun.
that was fun. That was years ago.
Years.
We don't even. I think back about it sometimes, but we never talk about it.
2012-ish, maybe?
Ish?
Yeah. Last question.
All right.
Does music have the power to change your mood? How does music affect you?
Affect you.
I was going to say affect your mood, but affect you is the same thing. It does have the power to change your mood, but it also has the power to enhance your mood.
Yeah, that is
in
an
a
effect.
good or bad way too. Like you listen to a depressed song when you're depressed, probably going to be more depressed, or you're going to like mellow out because you understand like there are other people that are like that. That's how you see it.
Definitely. But music is very impactful.
Yeah.
Like David said, like if you're in a mood and you want to feel that mood, live in that mood, like music can definitely amp your feelings, but it can also change your feelings.
And that being said, like you listen to a depressed song when you're not depressed, you can be like, you know what? I was at that spot. And at the end, they do a little bit where they get better. Now I'm there. Like it can also, a depressed song can make you happier.
Yeah.
Enhance it.
But yeah, of course. Why wouldn't music affect you? Because
music is a drug.
Music is a very emotional kind of experience.
It's addicting. It's a mood changer. I'd be surprised. I mean, just like you listening, you've just listening to something. That's doing something to you because you're bored, and now you're not bored.
Or you're actively listening, and you have memories and stuff that it recalls for you.
Or like people use it. I never understood it. People use it to study, and it like helps them study. I've heard like video game music because it helps you focus.
Yeah.
I can't fucking study and listen to music. I just can't do that.
Oh, really?
I need to be focused on what I'm.
Interesting.
Because I listen to music, my head's going to be going 300 million miles an hour with different things.
Oh, because I'll do that. Like, especially when I'm writing or something, I'll just throw on like a very pulse felt kind of instrumental kind of thing, and that'll kind of like get my mind jogging or whatever. But yeah. That's science.
Science, yeah. So yeah, part 1, and we did 9, and we're gonna do 10 questions next week.
How many are in
There's
this
19.
thing? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So thanks for watching and listening.
Keep drinking, keep listening.
I don't wanna be miserable. I don't wanna be a part of this, so stop playing games with me. describing you. My fix, correct my mistakes, till I don't miss false claims of fame and time well spent to think that I ever call you friend. Let me go. I don't wanna be miserable. I don't wanna be a part of this that you can throw away. Let me go. I don't wanna be cynical, but you never gave me anything that I would be afraid to break. Now I'm wide awake. Enough. You've always had me so convinced that all the cards in your hand, well, I'll call your bluff and take the pot. I'm done with this, so watch your mouth while you can. Go. Once we go, I don't wanna be miserable. You never cared to question where